What's up, y'all? You ready? I'm so excited about tonight. I have not been able to have an extensive conversation with Ebony about the who's and the whys and what's. So I can't wait. So we're going to give her like a minute or so. Why I got the cap on this bottle? To get in here. And then we're going to get it popping. I'm in my art studio and it's upstairs, and Lord, even with the fan on, with the air like on extreme, it is still a little toasty. Hey Ebony, you ready? See what you on here doing. What's up, sis?
What's up? What's going on? Shawty.
So what's been going on with you today? Just today. Start there.
Today, look, I started my day off, I always try to give me a little workout in or something like that. So I went to hang out with my homeboy Bobby, a Canvas Bully. So a lot of people know him, Canvas Bully. So I went to go, ride my bike with him. Bad idea. That nigga had me doing 10 miles.
10 miles.
10.
Oh, y'all beast mode out here.
10 miles.
That's a lot. So how often was that an extreme day?
That was an extreme day. I usually do about 3 to 5. He wanted to push me to the limit, but it kind of helped me get my mental correct,
So let's get into it. Let's talk about.
Hey, Toy.
Let me embarrass you. Let's talk about the first time I saw Ebony Lewis.
Oh man, I don't know what this story about to be like. I love you too, D. I don't know what this story about to be like.
So I had just decided to publicly show my art. I always been in the craft world. I'm a fashion designer, photographer. I had been in those worlds. Mm-hmm. And I had been painting, but I didn't never show. I didn't show my shit, right? Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? 2016, I'm a show my stuff.
Do it.
I'm out here in these streets. Like I'm finna just put myself out into the universe, put my babies out here into the universe.
Yeah.
So I got in a couple of shows. I was proud of myself. And this one particular show I was in, it was called Chocolate and Art.
Oh yeah, Chocolate and Art show. Yep.
And I stood by my little paintings. And by the way, I sold 2 originals. I was really proud of myself. First time showing anything. I was so proud. And so I decided to, hey Toya, I decided to take a break and walk around and see the other artists work.
Got to. You got to.
And I was walking around.
Girl, what you see, girl?
And I see all these dudes around with their paintings up. And I see this little petite, cute thing in the middle of it, running shit. Mm-hmm. Had your locks looking all healthy and lovely. Had your paintings up. I was like, who is this? I don't know. Who is this?
Yeah, come on, Mike, looking lovely.
Yeah, so I made my little stalker circle. Yeah. I was like, who? What is she she not scared. She right there in the middle of it. She was doing it. You had a little flock of people coming to your table. Looking at. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I slid into the side, so you could see me. I grabbed the card and I ran up.
That's like, look, Chocolate and Art, that'd be a packed show though, straight up.
Packed show, and you run. That's my first imagery of you. That's what I remember.
Oh yeah, girl, know I'll be around nothing but men. So all my, especially during that time, like all my close friends were men at the time. Art friends. All my close art friends were men at the time.
Yeah.
And so, and art is a male dominated, craft, and so I was used to being around me, and I have 3 brothers, all boy cousins. So I'm just used to kind of being in the mix of all that. So it was all
But
good.
yeah, you didn't look uncomfortable. You were
Mm,
commanded. You had your own commanding
yeah.
presence. You weren't being swallowed up, and I just admired that about you. That's my first.
That's sweet. Thank
And
you.
yeah, I don't think that I ever told you that. And so after that, of course, I went home. I'm like, who is it? Hold on, let me. Who is
Oh
this?
yeah.
And from there, I just started following you and admiring your work
Thank
and
you.
your dedication to your work.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a really big compliment. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So you've been. I mean, I'm assuming that you were doing it before I came on the scene.
Hey.
What's up, No Pilots, Texas? Thank you for joining.
Yeah, I got you down.
Good. We got a good little crowd going here.
Oh yeah.
So let's get up in your art. Let's get up in your art business. When
Let's
did
do
you?
it.
I want to take it all the way back, and I'll do that. But as far as the Dallas art scene itself,
Mhm.
when did you start really making your presence known? When do you feel like you did that?
Man, me and my friend was just talking about this today. I think I would say like the first time that I really kind of started stepping out on the Dallas art scene, gosh, probably 2000 and maybe 13-ish, something like that. I remember the first show I had was a raw art show. And so
Ah,
tell my auntie I love her. So it was in 2013. So that was the first time that I decided to really show my art on the Dallas scene. So I think it was around that time. It was a raw art show. Now, mind you, I had gotten rejected from raw art at first.
how
God, how dare they? I know.
how dare they? The audacity!
See,
Oh my
the
gosh!
gall, but no,
You're getting that shit now.
I got rejected from raw art the first time that I submitted, and so I was like,
Ooh,
I was kind of fresh out of college, not too long, after that, and that was kind of like I felt like I knew all the skill sets that I needed in order to be successful in art, but I didn't get in the first art show. So that second one, I was able to get in. So that was like my first time. 2013 was my first time stepping out on the art scene in Dallas, in my city, So that was my first little baby step out the gate. But it was
wow.
cool, it was cool. Like I love Dallas, like for real, And so, I mean, it was just a good little stepping stone for me. It's a good little introduction to being able to market your work and all of those things. So
So you're pretty. I feel like you're pretty well known in the Dallas art scene. What when you first got onto it? What were you mainly showing? Did you start off doing series, or were you just doing single pieces?
you know, to be honest with you, I didn't. I was just creating. I was just and again, I was talking about this earlier today. I was just trying to express myself visually, and that was it. I wasn't really thinking about the business side of art at all. I was just like, man, I'm an artist. You know how artists do.
Yeah.
I'm an artist. I just want to create and make something wonderful. I was kind of like that. I didn't really think about art as a business. I thought about art as a gift that I had to share with people, but I didn't necessarily think about it as a business. You know what I mean? I was just like,
Right.
let me show my art because I think it's cool. I think it's dope. You know what I mean? Um, that was it. You know what I mean? That was really what I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to think about series. I wasn't trying to think about any of those things. I was just trying to use my skill set and you know, create something that was visually stimulating to people. So that was it.
And your main medium is acrylic or oil?
Acrylic. So funny, funny thing though. If I got to go back and back and back, you know what I'm saying? So whenever I first started painting, um, the first time I was introduced to paint, like I've been drawing and all that stuff my whole life,
Yeah.
but the first time that I was introduced to paint, it was kind of like a tragedy, but a good thing too. So my father passed away when I was going into the ninth grade. So when that happened, I walked into a Hobby Lobby, and they was like, we offering paint classes. I was like, my mom was like, you should go ahead and do, your paint class. Bro, I'm like, all right, cool. So in that paint class, all I did was oil paint. I painted oil paints for years. Before I went to college, all through high school, I painted in oil paint. And then when I got to college, I started switching over to painting with acrylics just because the turnover rate, acrylics dry, of course, a lot faster than oil paints. And I'm very impatient. So I was like, where have you been all my life? Acrylics. Okay. So once I found that, I was
Exactly.
like, okay, it's go time after that, baby. I was like, I'm ready to roll with it. So that's kind of how it started out.
That's okay. Like this is so funny. 95% of the people I talk to that are acrylic artists, that's what it's about. Like I don't have the patience.
Nope. Sure.
Like
No.
I need
Turnover, he's gotta go, baby. He's gotta go.
I need for stuff to be happening. I'm the exact same way. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
At all. So let's get into, I got some stuff on here.
Oh yeah, you good. Let's do it. I'm ready.
And I want to show some of your stuff.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about how cool your voice is though when you was doing them damn voiceovers. Hi.
Did you like that? I was trying.
I said you better be Midnight Love voiceover. What's up, Boo? What's up, Caleb?
I was trying, sis. I was trying. I really was. Oh my goodness. I want to show some of your work. Hold on. It's a close up. It's one of your pieces that sold.
Oh, that's one of my favorite pieces. Come on, you better research.
I'm into it.
Yes.
I'm into it. So for the people that don't follow you, I don't know who's not following you in the Dallas art scene. Shame on you if you're not. But for the people that don't know, a lot of your content, because I'm always Instagram stalking you.
Okay.
A lot of your content, they have if you pay attention, there's messages within messages.
Absolutely.
I've noticed that.
Absolutely.
You want to tell us a little bit about that?
So, well, a lot of times my work is about really I try to find commonality that crosses gender, race, ethnicity, everything. I try to find content. So I was thinking, and I'm praying, and I do all those things, and I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, God, what is something that all people really have in common? They may not even know that they have it in common, right? So the commonality that a lot of people have in common is we all experience some type of emotions, right? Whether it be sad, happy, whatever. Emotions is something that it transcends all those particular groups. Everybody experiences them, right?
Right.
So
right.
for me, I always try to show a conflict of good versus evil, right? Okay, we about to get spiritual, okay? We about to get spiritual.
Yeah, I'm into it. Come on, right? That's what I want.
So I always show a contrast between good and evil in my work, right? Because many times everybody's, as a human being, our intention is always to do the right thing, correct? But unfortunately, and the humanity in us, there's conflict. There's always going to be conflict. There's always going to be something that's going to pull you from doing the right thing. So when you see those little arrows and those little daggers and things like that, a lot of times you'll see robots in my work, or these little monster looking creatures. That represents the opposition. That represents the evil, or that represents, the enemy, right? So opposition is always present. So you'll also see either birds, or you'll see those 3 dots. Y'all, I don't know if they can really see, but there are 3 dots in that piece right there.
Hold on, we can show them the 3 dots.
Yeah. Mimi, you better be. Girl, okay. So those 3 dots, right? Those 3 dots represent, for me, okay, the Trinity. the Trinity, right? So Father,
Yeah.
Son, and the Holy Spirit. So if you're not a Christian, that's completely fine, because the Trinity is a representation of completion, right? It's a
Yes.
representation of completion. So even if you're not spiritual and a Christian, right, that's completely fine, because like I said, emotions transcend every group that you try to put people in, right? So to me, it represents completion. It represents wholeness. It
Yes,
represents,
Lord.
yes, Lord. It represents a wholeness that, as human beings, we all search for, we all seek for in everything that we do. I got it back there. Bam, 1, 2, 3.
I
And
know. I
that's,
love that piece. I have
yeah.
that piece on here too.
Oh yeah, and you know what? That's
So amazing.
really, those 3 circles are a reminder of where my gift comes from, right? I don't believe that I just woke up one day and was like, oh damn, I know how to paint, right? Like that's not the case, right? I wake up and I'm like, a lot of images and ideas that I get, I feel come from God, or you can say the universe, or you can say whatever being entity you like, but that's where I feel like mine comes from. And so I have to pay homage to who I feel my gift
It's
comes
coming
from.
from.
Yeah. So I
That's
mean to
so
get,
that's so funny that you say that. We
yeah,
literally, in a different context, but still we were talking about it. When I did the interview with Shonda, we
yeah,
were talking, and I made her laugh. That that last documentary that Michael
yeah,
Jackson made,
yeah,
he was arguing with his manager because he had all this stuff going, right?
right,
We'll bring it up again because it's important for artists to hear this. It's funny, but like pay attention to what he was saying.
right,
And the manager comes up to him and he's like, bruh, I'm paraphrasing. But he's like,
yeah,
Michael, why you do? We need to be focusing on this. She's supposed to be here at this rehearsal and you trying to go to the studio and
yeah,
record. And you could do that later. Why
right,
why is it so urgent for you to go to the studio right now?
yeah.
Michael turned around to him and he's like, because man, if I don't do it, God will give it to Prince. And his point was, you got to
Yeah.
be obedient. Like when
Oh
it's
yeah,
downloaded into you, you need to write it down. You need to do something about it because it's meant for it to be done.
for
You
sure.
know.
For sure. We can't be having people giving it to Prince because, hey, you got to use those gifts.
And
You
I
got
gave it to Prince a lot of times. I'm using it
I gave my shit to
where
Prince.
I set up and saw it. I was like, oh, Jason, you straight told me to do that, and
Yeah.
you just gave it. So that's what you did. You gave it to them. What about me? He was like, hey,
Yeah.
I told you what to do. You didn't want to do it. I had to go to another child. Like,
For sure. For sure.
it is what it is. Also, so I want to segue into, I don't know if you guys are
What's up, Everett?
noticing. Hi, Truwan. I hope I said that right.
Yeah.
Hi, accessories are us. Yes.
Hey,
I
hey.
can read. I
Yes.
don't know if you guys are noticing. Hold on. Let me.
Come on, you better model. You better model, Queen. Let's
Yes. Yes.
go.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I pulled all my sources. Like, I was not ashamed. I was like, Ebony, can you please, can you put different colored letters on there, even though that is not what your design was?
It
Could you
was
please do
not,
it
but
for
you
me?
special though. You my
Yeah,
girl.
I begged. I didn't.
Look.
I didn't care. I don't have no shame.
It's all good. When
So
you
let's
plug
talk.
in,
Let's talk about these T-shirts. I know where
Okay.
you got it from. It's one of my favorite clips.
Mm,
From Nina Simone and what she's talking about.
right.
So let's delve into that. What made you decide that this is important to put out as one of your T-shirt collections? Because I know you have other ones.
Right.
With your
Mm-hmm.
insignia, your
Right.
logo on it, and other collections of T-shirts. So tell me what's important to you about this particular T-shirt.
Well, as a creative, we have a duty, right? And of course we know with the times currently, you know,
Ooh,
it needed to be said as to what how to use our gifts, what we should be using when we put pencil or paint or whatever your art medium is, it should reflect the times that we're in, so that for future references, that's monumentous. You know what I mean? That's something that I really feel like we are in the middle of a real life moment. And why not?
Yes.
If we look at the Harlem Renaissance, because I study art. If you look at the Harlem Renaissance era, they reflected the times. If you look during the Civil Rights Movement, artists reflected the times, so that years and years and years from now, when I look back, everything wasn't honky-dory. We dealing with injustices. We dealing with a multitude of issues. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
why not? If not us, then who? Right?
Then who?
If not us,
Exactly.
then who? It's kind of like we have the gift. Everybody is not articulate. Everybody's not a protester. Everybody's not an organizer. But you have a role. And as an artist with a gift to visually make emotion and a feeling come to life, I feel like it's our duty as artists to reflect what's going on, not for our sake, but for the sake of the people, whatever people you're talking about. In this case, we're talking about marginalized people, as in Black people,
Right.
And so, but that's me. I would be doing the world a disservice if I kept all that frustration, all that passion, all those thoughts inside. Because guess what? For the person who's not articulate and can't say, hey, there's some things that are systematically disproportionate between Blacks and whites. For the person who can't articulate that, they can look at an image and say, okay, well, this scale is higher, this scale is lower. Dang, that's not
Exactly.
fair. This is supposed to be Lady Justice, right? They can read that. I mean, they can see that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to speak all fancy in order for you to get that. You know what I'm saying? So I try to speak
Exactly.
for the common man. Everybody's not an artistic scholar. You know what I mean? My art speaks to the common man and makes complex thought processes simplistic enough for one to read, and feel.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my goal. And artists reflecting the times, that's what we do. Like, that's what we should do.
That's
Nina Simone said it best, and
she
it just
did.
resonated.
She really did. She said it best. And I think we serve more than one role. People kind of, they want to pigeonhole us into, oh, I want you to put something pretty on my wall.
Right.
But what your friend ALM 8514, she says it represents healing too. And I agree
Absolutely.
with that. I also feel like we affirm each other. Artists have the power and the magic within themselves to affirm a
Right.
group of people.
Absolutely.
Like it was the artist, it was a visual artist in photography and painting that started the Black Girl Magic movement. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't know that. But
Yeah.
that's where we said, you know what? If other people are not affirming us, we'll affirm ourselves.
Right.
And we're also historians. You got to
Absolutely.
document it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
They don't know about us.
What's up,
They don't know
Tail?
about
What's up,
us.
Martell? What's up, Carrington? You right.
Hi, Carrington Brown. So guys, if you get a chance, are these t-shirts still for sale? Do you still have some,
They
ma'am?
they are. If you would like an artist reflect the times, some of them are on my website, but the easiest way right now is just to shoot me a DM, shoot me your size and your address. They're 25, so just if you're interested, just let me know. I can make it shake for you. No
And
problem.
she gonna send it to you in a pretty
Yeah, you got my little
package.
logo on the back.
Got a little logo on it. You open it, it's all nice and
Y'all
folded
saw my
out
little
pretty.
Ah,
I'm a Capricorn, so I love presentation. I was like,
oh yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I got
I
fussed
feel
yesterday
special.
about presentation. Yeah, presentation is important, That's very
Yeah.
important.
It was very professional and I got it really fast.
Thank you. That's important. I got my
That's
little
saying
box.
something. Because the mail is it's slow right now.
It show.
So let's go into original works.
Okay.
I noticed that for the most part, up until maybe a couple of months ago, you weren't doing prints, right?
Never.
Never. Like it was straight originals. Like you got one time to get it. Just
Yeah.
That's what's popping. And that's, if you don't get it, it's your bad. So what made you, I don't know if you guys know, but Ebony has some, they're still limited edition. Like, she gonna make you work hard for it, but
Only five. Only five.
what made you decide at this job? So let me get, for how long have you been doing, you start with the prints? How many months? It's been recently, right?
Yeah, it's probably the last group of prints that I did was actually like my first set. So maybe I would say probably about a month now. I've been looking into prints and doing digital original artwork. So that's important because it's not like I'm taking a picture of an original and I'm printing it again. I'm not doing that. Which is not, it's nothing wrong with that, but that's not
It's
what
nothing
I'm.
wrong with that, but there
No,
is
no,
a
no.
difference.
Yeah. But
There's
yeah,
a
that's
difference,
why I
and you need
put.
to make the distinction.
Absolutely, yeah. So there is a difference. So you can get, like, if I had a painting like this and I took an image and then I reprinted that, that would be the digital print, but it's a print of an original piece of work. What I'm trying to do is create original limited edition digital pieces. So after my 5 that I release, because I'm going to release 5 of each digital print that I do, I'm not going to make any more. So if you have edition 1 of 5, I think, or 2 of 5, or 3 of 5, 4 of 5, it'll have a little, number on the bottom. That's it. I'm not making any. I'm not making any more. Because I want to keep that authentic originality. So whenever I becoming a millionaire, you becoming a millionaire too. You know what I mean? Like, when I grow up and glow up, you grow up and glow up too, for believing in my vision a long time ago. You make an investment in a
And
$50-$60 print, and you
that's
never
going,
know.
the value is going to exponentially increase
Yes,
as your name and your brand becomes bigger.
yes. Amanda, what
That's
edition did you get of those prints? I can't remember. Amanda has purchased two of my prints, so she has some.
really.
Yeah, she has 2 of them. Yeah.
So does
Hey,
this particular, so let me ask you this question, totally off topic. Are you addicted to digital yet? Like I told you you would be?
not you know what? It's kind of addictive, but what I realized too is it takes a skill. I'm drawing, and I'm thinking, a lot of people think that digital art is convenient, but you really have to spend some time in there. I was looking at the
Thank
hours that I
you.
spent creating some of these pieces. It's 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. I'm like, dang, I spent 5 hours working on this.
Please,
And
please tell them. Please
yeah,
tell them, because I had a couple of people say some stuff to me, and I was like, "Look here, buddy.
it takes
I
time.
spend hours on my digital work just like I do when I paint. So watch
Yes,
how you talk to me.
yes. And it's really
Same.
right now. I don't have the space to really create the way that I want to, and on the scale that I would want to. However, um, digital art gives me an avenue to be authentic in what I want for my collectors. And it also gives me an opportunity to be frequent in my creativity. You know what I mean? So I don't have to wait to set up a space. I can just boop, and I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. That's how
I
it is.
think that's the best part. That's the best part, the convenience of it. And I think
Yeah.
the con of it is it's kind of like when we all went to Kindles. Kindles
Yeah.
are cool because you can have 100 books right here in this little device. But the part that I missed was the smell of, I'm a nerd, I don't
Of the
care.
book,
The
girl. Don't get on
smell
my
of
nerves. You know I'm a nerd.
paper. Yeah, like so, and it's the same thing with the digital art. The con is the texture of the paint, getting it all over you and peeling
I'm a
old
messy artist.
paint off of your palette.
Yep, I'm a messy artist. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's the only con that I can say, but I think both of them are just as valid.
Absolutely.
So what's your digital series, like what is the name of it?
It's
You have a series, right?
It's called Reflect. So for this particular show, those three pieces are called Reflect because, of course, if you look at them, to me, that's what they are a reflection of of the times. They are a reflection of how Black people should see themselves, right?
Right.
And so, but outside of race, it's just a reflection of the world around us. Like I created the Frida Kahlo piece, where she had the mask on and it said Black Lives Matter. And
dang, I should have screenshot that. Ooh.
Oh yeah, it's fire. But tune into the auction, y'all. I'm auctioning it off. So it's only one of them. So if you but yeah, so it's just a reflection. I call it Reflect because it's just a reflection of the times, So it's just a reflection of self-reflection and reflection of everything that's going on around us. And so I created a piece like an Egyptian themed piece, Kemet, and it just talks about, before we were enslaved people, right? Before we were enslaved people.
Thank you for saying. So let me just get this on my chest.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Mitchell.
Thank you for saying enslaved.
Oh yeah.
It's important. Our words have power. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't slaves. Somebody came and put us in a situation. We didn't volunteer for that shit.
Yeah, we didn't ask for that. We didn't say, hey, excuse me, can you please? No, that wasn't the case. But yeah. So before that moment in history, there things existed before people told us that it existed, right? Like, oh, you didn't think tigers was in the world until you ran up on a tiger and be like, oh damn, it's a tiger right there. That tiger, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? Excuse me, the colonizers and oppressive people really believe sometimes, not all white people, don't get me twisted, but people with oppressive mind states believe that things don't come into existence until they discover it.
Okay.
Columbus, right? It's like, so it wasn't people living here before. You can't discover something that somebody's already on, So those little small concepts is just understanding that we didn't start during that particular time. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole other history. So that's what that piece addresses. And we
can't heal it if we don't call it out and address it. How can a person even know, that their mindset is slighted if we're not having discussions about why this is wrong thinking and wrong doing? How can we correct it? I know people, right now, this time they're uncomfortable, but hey, we've been uncomfortable for a while. So, we need to have some real conversations, and they don't need to be, I don't want to hurt your feelings and be PC. I might have to hurt your feelings.
Right. Sometimes that's when the most change comes about, right? What's up, TC?
What's up, Lady MCC?
Yeah, so that's when the most change comes about. You can't, nothing real comes about from change doesn't really come about from a passive perspective, right?
Right.
I ran across this artist and she had an issue with, or this, she's not an artist, excuse me. She was not an artist, but this person, she called herself a Black feminist, right? And she didn't like the fact that this artist was depicting Black girls in a manner that seemed to be very like strong, and they were like, they had guns and they were fighting cops, and now this is a painting, mind you, right? She said she felt like that would put targets on Black women's backs, as if
where she live,
have them already.
Yeah, where she
this artist,
can I come live where you at? You on have no choice. I'm sorry,
artist,
where you at?
But I'm like, this artist is reflecting his reality. Art is about perception, right? It's just
Right.
like beauty. It's just like beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I may
Thank
look
you.
at a piece and perceive it completely different from you, right? And that's the beauty in art. It's like reading the Bible. Like when I get up in the morning, if I read the Bible and I interpret the word in a particular manner, it doesn't mean that my way is wrong and that your way is the correct way. It's my interpretation. It's not. And if art doesn't make you uncomfortable sometimes, then you, baby, you need to go to IKEA, okay, and get
Yeah,
them
like
motherfucking flowers and
I'm
pots
trying to
pictures.
get to
That's
the
what you need.
I'm trying to get to the emotion of the thing with my art. You know, people,
Right.
I'm not comfortable that you have nudity in your art. I'm like,
I
good.
love your art, by the way. I
They
I
wait for me to say, oh, I'm sorry. I'll be like, good. I'm glad you
look.
uncomfortable. Because you know what? We think about sex too much when we see nudity. This is a
Yep.
temple we live in. Get your mind out. Something is wrong. When
Mm-hmm.
in your mind immediately go to sex all the time when you see a naked body. I said what I said.
Yeah, I
Something's
said what I
wrong.
said. I said
Yeah.
what I said.
And I'm
Okay.
trying to change that. Body pop, all of that. I love messing with those little boxes that we're so comfortable living in and putting people
Mm-hmm.
in, and I want to destroy them.
Yeah. If we think about body shaming, and that's why I love your art actually. So
Thank you. That's
because
a
of the
big compliment.
conversation that I know this is mine, but I just want to compliment you because of the conversation that happens when you have, in your body of work, full figured women that are nude, right? And I'm like, a lot of people with their small minded, concepts of beauty, it's, I hate that, yo. Like, and but then they don't see anything wrong with, seeing
The
a
Busted
person
Open series. Yeah, I
a
said
busted open series.
Busted Open
Don't nobody
series.
boobs sit right here, honey. Don't nobody sit right.
Yeah.
They don't sit right. Ain't nobody that shaped that perfect. Hey, Chelsea, nobody shaped that perfect. And so I enjoy the authenticity of women in your work. You know what I'm saying? I really do dig it. I really do dig it. But I just
Thank,
want to compliment
thank you for getting it. Like
you.
that's all. Like to me,
Yeah,
that's the compliment. Thank you for getting it and
yeah,
spending more than 30 seconds looking at it.
yeah,
Because if you look at it, if you're paying attention, you will get it. I'm
yeah,
kind of obvious with what I'm trying to do.
yeah, yeah. It's fun
Well, at
though.
least I'm always thinking I'm obvious, but some people they get very confused. But it's
Yeah,
fine. I'm not an artist that if you get mad, that don't make me mad.
so
Because
don't.
I feel like I'm successful if I made some type of, whether it's aggravation, anger, frustration,
Right.
confusion, happiness, as long as you felt something,
Absolutely.
I did my job.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's how I feel.
Doing a great job.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
I know a lot of the artists that are participating. Hi, cousin. Hi,
Hey,
Big
cousin.
Chip. That's my cousin. I love
What's
you
up,
so much,
cousin?
Chip. So a lot of the artists that are participating, they have decided for some of the proceeds to go to worthy causes that are
Right.
important to them. So can you tell our audience out there, who you're donating some of your proceeds to and why?
Man, this is dear to my heart. So I went to Mississippi, which is where I'm originally from. That's where I was
Huh?
born. Greenville, Mississippi. It's a small town in Delta County. So I went to Mississippi. Man, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about this. I was able to sit down with my godmother and an aunt of mine, and they're older, 70, around that age, 76, 68. So they're up in age. So you already know they was bringing the wisdom, right? So they were telling me about this museum, this African American museum that they want to start in Greenville, Mississippi. And I'm like, damn, I was like,
Ooh.
now, mind you, this is what. Okay, okay. Let me focus. So we was having this conversation, and they were giving me all this history about Mississippi. They were giving me all this history about segregation. My aunt was one of the first teachers to integrate a school in Mississippi.
Oh my
So she was the
goodness.
only, at the time, she was the only black teacher in the school. I said, damn.
So
We thinking that
you
this
come
is,
from a line
man,
of trailblazers. Come on.
I'm thinking this is, we think segregation. I mean, we thinking that ain't far. That's not far. And so
Not
this is the part that made me want to dedicate, actually 100% of my proceeds will be going
wow.
towards this cause. So none of the money is going to me. So
Oh,
this is what made me do this, because my godmother was like, yeah, we still have to pay the taxes on the property, every month or whatever. And I'm like, now mind you, they both retired. You know what I'm saying? So they're spending their retirement, money on building and maintaining the history of a place. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man,
it's that important to them.
that's important to me. And I'm like, I'm at a stage in my life where I want to make an impact. I want to make a stamp. I don't want to just be one of those people that's, oh, you paint real nice. They look real nice. You paint
It
real
look real
nice.
nice.
You know what I'm saying? But
Oh my God, it goes with
yeah,
my couch so well.
right. But they not able to get up and promote and do all this other good stuff. I mean, they can to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, let me do this part. Let me see if I can at least contribute to helping pay the taxes on the property or the building that they're trying to get. And so I was like, and hopefully, when they get it, we're gonna speak into the existence. When they get that property, I'm gonna be able to go down there and paint a mural for free, do whatever they need me to do. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So I just feel like it's for the preservation of our history, for the preservation of the history of my town. I felt like this really was important to me, and it's really important to me. And I just want to try to contribute as much as I can, you know, to that
And
to that cause.
it's real. The other thing is, it's really important for the imagery and the narrative to come from a person that was actually in it.
Yep, man, I'm telling you, yes.
It's important for the narration for us to own, be the authors
Of
over
our
the
own stories.
narrative,
Yep,
over what's happened with our people, to our people, and what we have contributed to in this society.
absolutely, absolutely. But yeah,
So,
that resonated with me when they were sitting there. First of all, my mouth was open because I was sitting there like, because when you
right.
get older, you don't give a damn about nothing. they was talking about, everything. Like, I mean, girl, we talk about everything from the roles of women to we talked about Karens, girl. I'm talking about everything, and it's so their perspective is so valuable. It's just so valuable and it's so powerful. All these things I read about, they talked about Angela Davis. They talked about people that I'm thinking like they, you know what I'm saying? They grew up around these heroes that we see. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
These, and it was profound. It was a profound conversation, and something I won't ever forget, for real. And so
So,
I think it's worth it.
do you think there's a possibility of a fundraiser or a GoFundMe page? Has it gotten to that stage? And do you think it will get to that stage?
They're trying to they are trying to not solicit. What do you say? They're trying to it's something in the it escapes me. I
Fundraise,
can't think of the term. But they're having like funds and galas and things of that nature in Mississippi.
sponsorship.
Yeah, in Mississippi to help expedite that situation. But you can't have a gala every week. You know what I'm saying? So you can't have a gala every month, really, even. So they still got to pay taxes. They still got to do all those little small legwork things that we don't think about. We just see the
Yeah,
end product,
the
like,
day
oh
to
damn,
day.
that's dope. Like, Negro, do you know what I had to do to maintain this shit? So that's why I'm like,
Exactly.
so that's what I want to do. I want to help with the maintaining part.
Well, that's definitely a worthy cause, guys. I hope that y'all are paying attention. If you're not already following her, don't be a square. Go right now and follow her. It's Ebony
Yes.
Lewis Art.
Yes.
Make sure you check it. All right, guys. Well, I think I got enough for now. I got enough
Damn.
RT from Ebony. You guys heard it. Ebony Lewis Art.
Let's
Tune
do it.
in.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for coming to talk to us. And let me get all in your business.
Of course.
And I look forward to interviewing you again. And I look forward to Saturday.
Let's do it.
All right, sis.
All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Yep.
All right, y'all. That was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll talk to you guys later.